Hi there! Today we'll be covering bringing a new dog into your home and how to set them up for success. First off, congratulations on your new addition. Picking out a dog and bringing it home for the first time is one of the most exciting moments in dog ownership. It's natural to want to show off your new pup to friends and neighbors, but before whisking your dog off to PetSmart or the dog park, take a minute and consider how the dog is feeling. This dog has been uprooted from the life and environment it previously knew, and that can be pretty scary. After all, this dog doesn't know you. It doesn't know if this new home is going to be a safe place. So how do we ensure a smooth transition? That's where decompression comes in. Decompression is a period of time given to an animal to allow it to adjust to its new surroundings. Decompression allows for calm, slow introductions, which can set your pet up for success and create a trusting relationship between you. The time and strictness of the decompression will vary depending on the dog's comfort level and confidence. It might seem like overkill, but implementing a decompression period can be the difference between adoption success and failure. When you first arrive home with your new pet, your first stop should be to the front or backyard for a potty break. This will minimize the risk of accidents and marking during the initial introduction to the house. After the dog has relieved him or herself, bring them inside the house but keep them on leash. Take them on a brief tour of the house, but let the dog set the pace. If the dog shows nervousness around certain areas of the house, don't force them to approach. If you encounter a problem, don't panic. Calmly manage the situation and make adjustments in the future. For example, if the dog grabs one of the kids' toys, simply trade it for a yummy treat and then move all the toys out of the dog's reach. An important part of the decompression period is the use of a crate or quiet room. As you can imagine, letting a new dog have free rein of the house can lead to the dog getting into trouble. By limiting the dog's access, you are appropriately managing the situation and preventing accidents. That's why when you first bring a dog home, it's important to place it in a crate whenever you cannot actively supervise it, when you leave the house, or when you feel it needs a break. If a dog panics in a crate, you can also use a small room of the house. To prevent the dog from feeling alone, make sure the room is near the rest of the family, but not in the middle of everything. For example, the kitchen wouldn't be suitable because there's just too much activity. But you also don't want to lock the dog in a room upstairs either. A spare room on the first floor or in a quiet corner of the living room would be ideal. And, of course, we want this area to be associated with positive things. We don't want it to be seen as a punishment. Treats and food-filled Kongs can really make a difference in this regard. If you have kids in the home, keep interactions to a minimum during the first week. If the dog seems comfortable, it can be introduced to the kids, but there are a few things to remember. The kids must be respectful of the dog and the dog's space. This means no grabbing legs, tails, or ears, no hugging, no hard staring, no rough play, and no going into the dog's crate. Calm, gentle pats are best, but again, this will vary depending on the dog. If the dog is shying away, cowering, growling, or showing the whites of its eyes, stop the introduction immediately and give the dog space. No matter how well the first introductions go, do not leave the dog and kids alone unsupervised. Many dog bites occur when a child is left alone with an unfamiliar dog. As always, encourage positive interactions by giving the kids a couple treats to give to the dog. The treats can be given by hand or tossed on the floor. This will create a positive association with the kids. If your new dog is a bit of a treat shark, it might be best to skip this step to avoid crushing the little one's fingers. It can be really tempting to want to immediately introduce the new dog to the other pets in the household, especially if you think your current dog would really love a playmate, but I would caution against it. Bringing a new animal into the home can be very stressful for your current pets, and it's best to take things slowly. When you do start introductions, keep them very brief. no more than 20 minutes at a time. Dogs should be introduced in a neutral location, such as a local park. In the house, baby gates are very helpful as they allow the two dogs to see and smell each other without getting overwhelmed. Baby gates will also help keep cats safe. When the two dogs are together in the house, it is vitally important to take up all toys and resource items, since they have the potential to create an argument. I would also recommend leaving leashes on, but letting them drag behind the dog. This provides you a safe way to interrupt fights and redirect the new dog away from problem areas. Try to match the dog's previous food and bathroom schedule as closely as possible. This will help prevent accidents in the house, as you will have a good understanding of when the dog needs to go outside. Moving to a new home can be very scary, so it's important to make all new experiences as positive as possible. Use lots of treats and encouragement in these first few weeks, especially when putting the dog in its crate or quiet room. Remember, we want the dog to associate the crate or quiet room with good things. Food-filled Kongs and puzzle toys can help with this, and they also provide great mental stimulation. As far as meals go, it's best to initially feed the same brand of dog food that the breeder or foster home fed. This will prevent stomach upset and provide a sense of normalcy to the dog. This is one of the most important parts of decompression. In the first few weeks, limit unnecessary outings as much as possible. It's exciting to bring a new dog into the pet store and have them pick out their own toys and leashes, but this can be a recipe for disaster. Pet stores have lots of sights, smells, people, and other dogs, and this can be very overwhelming for a new dog. Let the dog get comfortable at home first before bringing them to new places. Of course, vet visits are excluded from this. Now you might be asking, how do we exercise this dog if it can't go on outings? Exercise is important in preventing behavioral issues, so short walks around the block may be okay in the first week. This will vary by dog, so keep an eye on body language. If the dog is being repeatedly frightened when outside, it may be best to hold off on walks. Also, do not meet other dogs or people on walks during the first week. The dog is already stressed from meeting the members of your family. He or she doesn't need any added stress. In lieu of walks, a good game of fetch in the backyard and puzzle toys are good. And absolutely put a star next to this next point. Whatever you do, do not go to the dog park in your first few weeks. Dog parks are crowded, stressful, and potential habitats for disease. Make sure your dog is healthy and comfortable before visiting the dog park. If you encounter behavioral issues, the important thing is to give the dog space. Growling is a way for dogs to communicate with us and tell us that they are uncomfortable. Punishing a growl can be very dangerous, as you may take away the dog's warning system, forcing him to go straight into a bite. Instead, give the dog space or calmly place them in their quiet room. Most behavioral concerns can be addressed later, but if you feel like there is a significant issue that threatens the safety of you or your animals, I would recommend contacting the rescue and asking if this is the right dog for you. How long should decompression last? The timeline will vary depending on the dog's behavior, but the recommended time is between 2 and 3 weeks. I hope all these restrictions haven't bummed you out too much, but remember that decompression can be adjusted based on the dog and the situation. The important thing is to take things slowly and set your dog up for success. A quick note here about puppies. This decompression schedule mainly applies to adult and teenage dogs. Young puppies are in a critical socialization window and need to be exposed to things. With socialization, it's important to still take things slowly and go at the puppy's pace. They can meet other dogs before their vaccination schedule is complete, but make sure the other dogs are fully vaccinated. Don't take them anywhere where they might be exposed to pathogens, such as dog parks and pet stores. When socializing your pup, keep everything positive. A lot of new puppy owners think that just exposing your puppy to new things is proper socialization, but it's not. If the puppy sees a new thing and has a very bad experience, it will teach the puppy that the new thing is very scary. Instead, reward your puppy often with treats and encouragement when faced with new things. Thanks so much for watching, and congratulations on your new family member!